Alright, welcome back to my channel. This week we will be making some ornaments, as you saw by the thumbnail and everything. So rather than trying to paint on like a spherical ball, I went and got these little like flat circle pieces of wood. They're super cheap, there's like 6 of them. And then I got this like stump here. This was $3 for just the one, so I only got one of them. And then if you stick around to the end, the design I'm going to do on this one, I'm going to use my wood burning tool, so that's going to be kind of cool. And then I'll show you how I plan to adhere string to it and how I plan to varnish them. Alright, you guys. So I just recorded, well, yesterday I recorded myself doing these 2 ornaments, and while they're not bad, they're not exciting, so I'm scrapping them from the video, but I'm just gonna keep them here to be reminded of our failures. And we're just, I don't know, I'm always trying to be something I'm not, I feel like, when it comes to doing things. Okay, so anytime it comes to decorating something, rather than just doing what I would normally do on paper on a different object, I try and do something fancy and out of the box, or like, I don't know. So I'm just gonna do a portrait because try and tell me I can't. I'm trying to think if I want to do a cartoon of me. I think I might really enjoy doing that. Let's go that route. And then I suppose I can make it a little Christmassy. Yeah, I'll give her a Santa hat. In real life, I like that I have glasses, but when it comes to drawing myself, I hate having glasses. Alright, I already like this way more than anything else I've designed, even though it's just like a simple cartoon. I'm gonna go ahead and start coloring it, I guess. I think I'm gonna use Poscas. I don't know if this is a even good skin color. Yeah, it's a little peachy, not super realistic, but it'll work. It's a cartoon, right? Just the tiniest bit of brown right there. Oh yeah, that works. And then go over it with this. Poscas aren't exactly known for their blending abilities. And then my hair is brown, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Oh, just a topic of conversation to talk about while we're here. Did you guys, I imagine if you're watching my video, you would like to watch art videos in general on YouTube, and I was wondering if you guys saw Drawing with Jazz's like channel giveaway competition, and whether or not you guys think you're going to participate. And I think I'm gonna do it. He described that it has to be like a channel that's under 50,000 subscribers and has proven that they can upload regularly, and I was like, heck, if that ain't me, I don't know what is. So yeah, I'm a little nervous, but mostly excited. I've found that if, in my experience, there have been times I've applied to scholarships and stuff for school, and I would kind of count myself out before I even applied, but eventually I was like, you know what, I'm gonna apply for that scholarship anyway. I didn't apply to it last year, I'll do it this year. And I did, and because nobody applied, I literally got like $3,000 for just the summer semester, which is quite the scholarship for a summer semester. But the reason I was able to get so much is because nobody else applied. Because everyone counts themselves out before they actually apply themselves, literally and figuratively. And so what you're left with is not many people applying, therefore your chances of winning are kind of high. So that's just some food for thought. If you are aware of Jazz's competition and you were thinking about doing it, then I would encourage you to do it. Right, I'm gonna go in with fine liner and Right now it kind of looks iffy, but I feel like once I fine line it, it'll look a million times better. I need to clean my brush. My pen. I always get so concentrated when I'm fine lining, I stop talking. These last 2 weeks I've done videos that require like a lot of smaller artworks, and I think next week I really just want to sit down and do one solid good artwork instead of a bunch of little ones, you know? But I'm kind of in the mood to make a big piece of artwork, so hopefully I can manage that. But with Christmas coming up, I have to work a lot more in order to pay for a little bit of traveling I plan on doing. I am like really stressed out about money right now. Not to be like hashtag relatable or anything, because I know we all are. But, whew, Christmas as an adult is a lot. I don't want to be like really open with my audience, even though I'm like really small and have hardly an audience. But I am super close to hitting the mark for monetization. I just need 1,000 more watch hours. Just approximately. Maybe it's like 1,300 more watch hours. So that being said, if you like any of my videos, please share them with your friends. Yeah. Because it doesn't take much to get me those last few watch hours I need so I can start making money on my channel. I'm so excited to like have this not feel just like a hobby. It's gonna actually be, you know, a thing, you know. So I think this is relatively done. I'm kind of want there to be a little bit more exciting stuff going on. So I've talked about this briefly on my channel before, but I used to work in an art gallery, and even though I wasn't a curator or anything like that serious, I usually installed the artwork and worked closely with the curator. They would tell me, like, they would sit there and be like, okay, I want this painting here, I want that painting there, and, you know, we would work together to put everything up in a fashionable sense. And one of the biggest pet peeves of mine, as well as some of the other people that worked there, was when a painting that just had like the raw edges, either paint it all black or have your drawing spill onto the edge, your painting or drawing. Because it's just like when you're in a gallery, your whole painting in 360 is on display, not just the front. When you're on like Instagram doing something like this, like nobody cares. But when you're in a real gallery setting, like 360 needs to be good. Anyway, I'm going on a lot of tangents today. I don't know, I feel like talking. I've been kind of lonely. Been home alone all day. And then there's one other thing I want to add to all of my, if I can find it, I want to add it to all of my ornaments. So I have this stamp that says uniquely handmade, limited edition, whatever. I usually use it when I sell stuff on my website, or if I make something like stickers and stuff that look like they could just be from anywhere. I want them to know that, like, no, it's made by a independent artist sort of situation. Or like my postcards from last week, I put this stamp on all of them so that when my family got them, they would know that I made the postcard and it wasn't just something I bought. And please don't throw it away. Ta-da! I got this from Hobby Lobby, by the way. I'm sure you can find them something similar to it in many other places. Ooh, okay, here's a cute little idea. I want to do like a little cactus. Do you ever wish traditional media was kind of like digital media, so I could just like go around these edges and then with like a paint bucket go boop and the whole thing's filled in? Or like Control Z. I don't do a ton of digital artwork, but when I do, I usually kind of like, I'll go hard for like a week or two doing it. And then when I've come back to traditional media, because I always do eventually, I'll make a mistake and my brain instantly thinks Control Z. You know, this could be kind of Christmassy in regards to the fact that it's green, so if I give it like a red pot, it'll be Christmas in color scheme. Some stripes on this bottom part just to make it a little more interesting. Going with a white Posca and just do some little embellishing. So if I was a perfectionist, and trust me, I'm not, I would have done a quick layer of white acrylic on the back of, or onto the wood, so that the Posca pens aren't bleeding into the wood grain like they are. I don't know if you can actually even really tell from way back there, but there is some bleeding. It happened on all the other ones as well. So I'm also going to put the handmade stamp on the back of this one. I'll do it later off camera, you guys don't need to see it every time. See, like, look, the ornaments I made when I was trying to like be something, and the ornaments I made when I was just trying to make myself happy. These are just so much more fun. So I do have these two. These are more personal. These are more personally, they indulge. So my boyfriend requested that I do a flash ornament using the flash ornament, the flash logo. It's his favorite superhero, and then I was gonna do Kirby because I love Kirby and it's like a nice perfect circle. So I'm gonna do these little self-indulgent ones real quick, and then I guess when I'm done I'll show you. There's Kirby. Alright, so the last ornament I'm going to do is going to be with my wood burning tool, which means I need to kind of clean all of this area up. Alright, I am back and I have my wood burning tool here. Be very careful with these, they're very hot. If you're underage, make sure you have supervision. And with all that said, let's get started. So low-key, it's like really awkward to use, cause like when I'm holding a pencil, I honestly hold it like really close to the end, but imagine holding a pencil out like this. That's basically the way it is, and I can't get closer because that will burn me. Oh, and another thing is there is no eraser. Like once you burn it, like there's no going back. I'm not too worried about it, but if I was doing a big word burning piece, I would probably want to do this outside, just because it does emit like some fumes, but I won't be working on this very long because it's really small. Luckily, most of my design are straight lines. I love the smell though, it's just like burning wood. I'm not talking much just because I'm super focused, and given just how hot this is, I'm not trying to get distracted. I will say my lines are already getting a little bit more confident and straight. But I want it to look a little more intricate, so I'm just gonna kind of freehand some little intricacies. So I kind of want to set all of these with a setting spray. Alright, so I have this crystal clear acrylic coating. So I'm going to do it on these 4. Still need to do another layer of red on that oopsie up there. So I'm going to go ahead and let these clear coats dry, and then I'll be adding string and stuff in a minute. Alright, so I'm going to speed through this just so we don't take up too much time. I'm just going to be using some E6000, some yarn, and toothpicks. Just throwing a glob of the E6000. Do be careful, it is industrial strength, and you have to be over 18 to buy it. And then kind of just sticking it onto the back and using the toothpick to touch it so that I don't get it on my fingers. And it's really as simple as that. I go ahead and do that to all of them. If you want, up in the top left corner you can see those little metal bracket looking things. Those are just ornament wire, ornament clips. Totally up to you if you want to use those or not. I ended up using it, but it really doesn't make that much of a difference. So you let it dry for a couple of hours, and here are all my ornaments. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a happy holidays, and I hope to see you next week for another riveting art video.